I've been attempting to create a database of Ravens film for myself and for other people to watch and utilize at their own discretion and leisure. It's part of my Patreon. I'm gonna show off a little bit of the program today. What I have done is I have organized everything by formations. I have Ravens formation, which I call twin wing. Other people have different versions of it. I have so far got 4 games completely labeled with all data and information input that you see up here at the top of the screen. Play number, down distance, personnel grouping, formation, backfield strength, in this case, strong left. You got 2 tight ends, which I think is Andrews and Tomlinson to the left. Whether it's a run or a pass play, the play concept, the direction, field or boundary. This play is going to be run to the boundary up here to the top side, and the gain. There's other fields that we could put in here. I have disabled them for the purpose of this video. Ricard is going to go in motion, and it's going to be a run play. So I have 15 plays out of this formation, and some of the things I suspected during the season are in fact true. So here they are. This formation is called twin wing. It's characterized by 2 tight ends on one side, and then 2 receivers to the other. Now we know that Ricard is not a receiver, and as I mentioned, he's going to go in motion here, and it's a failed run play where Le'Veon Bell cuts it back. Here's some of the things I've noticed. I got 15 plays through these 4 games labeled. I've got 11 passes and 4 runs. This is an NFL football team, and for some of you that are anti-Greg Roman guys or anti-Harbaugh, whatever, this is going to give you some evidence. Right now, all 4 runs, and I suspected this, are all to the strong side, like this one is designed to be. All 11 passes are all to the weak side. So you have a formation that is not only heavily weighted towards pass, 11 pass, 14 run. That's a pretty high percent. I think 72%, 73% pass. That's pretty heavily weighted if you ask me. Not only that, you have one that pretty much when you line up in it, the defense knows that this side is where it could be the run action, whereas over here, the weak side is the pass side of the formation. And I actually said some things earlier in the season about formations. I think maybe people weren't drawn to it because it's not sexy, but when you are formation oriented, those things can work early in the season, first 3, 4, 5 weeks of the season. But as more data is accumulated, and teams can see definitively that you're only running to one side and you're only passing to one side, again, out of this only out of this formation. Now this is twin wing, but this time we're getting a receiver motioning left to right, and it's an F counter concept, which I have shown up there under concept. It's a run play to the strong side where they're pulling Ricard and the guy who went in motion. So I call it F counter. Other people call it something different. You're going to get the all 22 in the end zone angle of all of these plays. And the reason why I'm showing it is, I would like people to join my Patreon, obviously. I would like to generate some interest in people watching and diagnosing Ravens film from a strategic and tactical standpoint, in terms of, what the Ravens are doing and when they're doing it. Now I'm calling this twin wing, but you've got a Ricard and a tight end up here, and you've got another tight end here. So this is 13 personnel. They're doing this out of 13 personnel on this play, and they're running the football. Okay, so some of these things are not surprising to anyone who knows anything about personnel, but when you tag personnel with formation, and we're under center as well, you see these very clear examples of how formation-oriented the Ravens were at certain times. Now, this data is only from the first 6 weeks of the season. I got actually, I think there's 5 games data in here. I believe I have Colts data in here as well. So the games that I have displayed for this formation is the Raiders, Kansas City, the Colts, the Chargers, and maybe one more. I think I'm missing one more. So there should be 5. But in any case, that's the 4 run plays that you get right there. And this is streaming through the internet. So for me, my internet is slow. So it's getting hung up a little bit. But you see, again, we've got, now this is not, some of you are saying, well, this isn't twin wing, coach. We're motioning the second receiver over here to create, twins over here to our left. So for those of you that know a little bit about the way I call formations, the weak side is where the running back is, because the tight ends are over here, or Ricard and the tight ends here. So that's the weak side where the running back is. I call that B gun. So that's why you see this labeled B right there. All right. So hopefully, what I'm trying to do is get interest in this, and if hopefully there's some other people who would like to see things broken down like this. You can do this yourself in the program that I have that I'm using right now. You can do this yourself. You join my Patreon, and I'll give you more information. And I will show you how to utilize the program yourself. Look, you can create your own content. I went in and found created filters to find all instances of twin wing, so I could sit and do this quick little video while my sons were asleep. And you could do this yourself. I'm literally trying to show people how they could create their own content out of Ravens film, from 2021 season. Now, moving forward, though, however, I intend to use this in 2022 as well and offer it to my patrons. So a 12 personnel grouping. That should say 13. Again, Ricard originated from the left of the offense and went in motion to the right. So he was the twin. It is a pass play. I think this is the first pass play I show you, and it goes to the weak side, as I mentioned in the first minute or two of the video. I'm going to kind of fast forward through some of these. I'm showing you that some of you are correct. Some of us are correct in stating that the Ravens were formation oriented and quote predictable. Another instance of the same formation, and you have two tight ends down here, or Ricard, who's operating as a tight end with Andrews, and then you have Oliver as the twin receiver. But they often did this out of 12 personnel as well. I call this 22, as you can see right there. I call this 22 personnel because I'm treating Ricard as a fullback, even though he's lined up as a tight end. Is there a point about the plays here? No, I'm not really making a point about these plays. A lot of these plays I've already broken down in older videos on my first, YouTube channel. This is really to try to illustrate that yes, there are some times when the Ravens are predictable, and we all know that. B, they were a very limited offensive team in the options that they had. When they wanted to do certain things, if you look at the last play that I just showed you, I believe that Ricard was on with Andrews and Oliver, and they weren't throwing the ball to Ricard, and they weren't throwing the ball to Oliver. And on this play, same formation, although they're going to motion into the formation. So I'm calling the formation in this case what they're motioning into, because this is actually Trey, where you have two tight ends and one flanker, or Z, which is Marquise Brown. This is going to be the Ravens, one of their favorite RPOs. They use this against the Chiefs, use this once against the Raiders, use this against the Broncos. You get Marquise Brown running out into the flats. You get the snag concept by the X receiver, Brown running out here. The running back had crossed Lamar's face, so it's an RPO. And he's reading this defender right here. That's who he was reading against the Broncos that week. Some cases, you'd be reading the inside backer. In this case, they're reading the stand-up end or the outside backer. If the outside backer doesn't widen up, then they just throw it to Marquise Brown, and he gets 5 or 6 yards, even though he stutters here a little bit. You're going to see the end zone angle again. So this is the guy that he's reading. It's an RPO, which I have correctly labeled. I would love to have people up in the Discord, up in my Patreon and Discord, who want to help label stuff and either know how to label things correctly, or would like to help me do it. I'm basically trying to hand the Ravens film watching community a way to create their own content, a way to watch film that's slightly different and somewhat independent of people like myself who you don't have to watch my film and do a film breakdown. This is another instance of it out of 21 personnel. So you got two backs. I'm saying that you got one running back here, and then Ricard. Now he's operating as a wing or a tight end here. And then two actual receivers out here in Watkins and Brown. We know this was before Bateman got healthy. Early in the season, this is what we were running. We were running vertical routes out of this. To me, I've called this like a flood concept. It's kind of like smash. And then I think you're getting the running back running out here. So you're getting 3 options. 1, 2, 3 options developing. At different stages of the play. I'll run again and shut up a little bit so you guys can see it. It's a play action concept. And from the end zone angle, you'll see we max protect this. Ball is, is it deflected or poorly thrown? I don't know. But the Broncos, from the last time we ran it, they have the outside backer apexed out. So they don't want to allow us to just throw it out here in the flats. So they got 3 over 2, 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. I should say over. The outside backer is apexed in between the number 2 receiver and the left tackle. That's what I mean when I say apex. Other people call it different things. But in any case, numbers-wise, they're trying to account for us, and we're trying to flood or overwhelm that side of the field. Something happened there. From the end zone angle, you'll see that we max protect it with Tomlinson and Ricard. And that's what it was. That's another element to this, and the Ravens being, quote, predictable out of it, is we didn't run pass plays to this side. I established that in the first minute or two of the video. We didn't pass to the strong side. We only passed to the weak side out of this formation. NFL teams are certainly capable of recognizing formation and recognizing those tendencies during the game, pre-snap, especially with how slow the Ravens line up. Doesn't mean that things don't work sometimes. I think you get a hook here, and then an out by Brown, and I think either one of them could be thrown to, and we throw it to Andrews. Again, both tight ends up to the top side, stay in a block, so a max protection scheme, kind of, with the running back leaking out late. So the running back, I believe, is going to leak out late, and like I said, Andrews run a hook, and Brown is running a deeper out. Let's see. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Give me some feedback in the comment section. If you're interested in this. My Patreon is $5 a month. I've created a Discord community that's Discord's a free app, but I monitor it, and we can discuss football in there. We meet in there and chat in the voice channels. I've also created this database which has Ravens film organized, labeled for you to access. Another example of twin wing, almost on here, 2 tight ends up to the top, 1, 2 receivers. I actually numbered those wrong. It should be 1, 2. You number from the outside in. So this is a pass play to the weak side, and I think we get 1 guy release out. Nope, I'm wrong. Both tight ends stay in and block. So early in the season, these formations can work because you only see like maybe 4 or 6 or 8 or even 10 instances of it when the opposing team's defensive staff is breaking down film and when they're looking for tendencies. But as you get to week 7, 8, 9, 10, you're going to see defenses defend some of these formations better. Maybe that's one of the explanations, not the only one, but maybe that's a component of why the Ravens offense went so far downhill. We know that Lamar's injuries and the struggles that he had with the protection and the I call it sticks. Other people call it zero blitz issues. So we know that all that is an element to it too. But when you line up in twin wing and teams know that these 2 guys, first of all, are not dangerous receivers. First point number 1. Second of all, they're not going to go out in a route in the second place. So the only pass threat is the twin receivers over here. That's like taking candy from a baby in terms of preparation. You should be able to defend that. And look, NFL teams had trouble identifying it sometimes, as illustrated right here. Now this is week 4, right? I believe against the Broncos. I think that was the other game I forgot earlier that I have in this data set. This video is approaching 14 minutes long. Not to say that things didn't work here. I have this labeled twin wing. This is kind of not correct. It's not a wing. It's a slot. Here I still included this in the data set. It's the only instance where we're passing to someone originating from the strong side in a formation that I would call twin wing. But again, it's not necessarily twin wing. If it was, the inside guy, which is Ricard, would be up on the line, and the outside guy, which is Andrews, would be off. That's a wing, a tight end, and then a wing or a running back or someone, an H-back lined up outside of him. So this is the only one where, the only play that's, I have twin wing in my system, where the pass play is not going, to the weak side down here. Let me know what you guys think of this type of breakdown. I think that's the last play. Oh, we got one more. I think this is interesting to me. And then again, same formation I just mentioned. You've got twins down here. It's out of 13 personnel. It's out of 22. Sorry, 22 personnel, because you've got 1 running back, Bell, a fullback, Ricard, and then you still have Andrews as a tight end, and Oliver. Not exactly twin wing because you don't have, it's a slot. I call it slot, where the outside guy's on the line, in this case the tight end, and then the inside guy's off, tightly aligned. I call that slot. Different people call it different things. Some people call that a wing, but we would always designate the difference between a wing and slot by whether the inside or the outside guy was on the line. It's an over concept to Andrews. So even though it's to someone who originated from the side, it is, ending up on the weak side in terms of where the football is thrown. And you got these two classic clear out routes by the receiver, and then Andrews catching the ball, somewhere around in this area. Let me know if you guys would be interested in this. I'm intending to operate this all throughout the end of the winter or spring or whatever, wherever you are this summer, and then during the 2022 season. I'm trying to offer something unique to Ravens fans out there, and it takes me a lot of time and effort to label all this. I do have a couple of other guys, really cool dudes, my patrons, who are helping me label some of the plays. I'm not going to tell you how I'm doing it until you get in the Patreon. This is for people who basically want to A, support me, and B, a little bit more involved in watching film, maybe a little bit more detailed than they were previously. You're getting this clear out route by Brown this time, and we know this is that late dig to Bateman where Lamar doesn't see the inside linebacker. I actually think he throws it too late here. If he throws the football earlier and this ball is caught where it should be, which is right around in this area, it would end up fitting between these two inside linebackers, because the design of it is such that this running back goes out late and pulls someone, in this case this front side inside linebacker pulls him. So the opening is here, and I talked about this in a video after the Chargers game. So a lot of this is repetitive information, and some of this video might be demonetized from the standpoint of using plays that some other people have used before and claimed as their material. Look, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy the type of effort that I'm bringing, number one. Number two, the type of data that I'm trying to illustrate when saying that people are formation oriented, which therefore is just a synonym or synonymous for saying that people are predictable. And I did say those things in the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. You can go back and look at my reaction videos and live streams and confirm that. Let me know what you guys think of the video and the data that I am presenting on the Ravens offense in the comments section, and if you'd be interested in seeing more videos like this that are about one formation in the future. Appreciate you guys' time.